Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Friends of Free Daily Coaching Mastermind. I am going to, in the spirit of the Friends of Free Daily Coaching Mastermind, as we've done in literally almost every episode in the past, invite you as the attendee, if you have questions or if you'd like to participate, to simply join us, come over live. You can join us by raising your hand and I'll see you and I'll bring you over. We're going to go ahead, and I made a decision last week when I finished the webinar series with everyone. I mentioned that I was going to be doing, I'm sure you guys can all hear me, but I won't be able to hear you guys when you come over. I mentioned that I was going to be doing some auxiliary follow-up videos for the AutoResponse series, and I'm going to do those. And one of the ones that I'm going to do is just for a different platform. And so what I decided was that instead of creating a whole new series, I'm going to do the entire follow-up series with you guys, and then I'll just record the auxiliary ones for those that are using the other platforms and or want to start incorporating using other platforms. You can do so, and you'll have the videos coming soon. So for today's training, we're going to continue. In last week's, what we did was how to create our autoresponder, how to get our list created, and how to get our messages put over in there, whether we were either uploading a predefined campaign from a service or whether we were going in and creating that follow-up series. So we showed you the mechanics on how to do that. So this week, what we're going to talk about is actually the steps to creating your email follow-up series. So that's what we're going to be doing, and then we're going to be digging into on the next one, doing maybe, I don't know, we'll see how it goes today as far as time, and see if we do have enough time to be able to do some examples, or if today we just give the formula and in the next series we're able to do that. So we're just going to be able to do just a little bit here on some beginnings of, and these are just the very basics. Remember, we're going back to kind of starting from scratch, if you will, and saying, hey, if you're brand new, if you're relatively new, you're just getting started, how can you do this? How can you get this done quick, easy, and just make this super, super simple, right? Well, let us show you how. So no raised hands yet. So we will not have anyone coming over live with me, and that's okay. But we do have some viewers over on YouTube, so I'd like to welcome them as well. It looks like only one, so I will go ahead and open the Q&A for those that are here live and don't want to say anything. And then, all right, so Tanya says she'll come over live, so we'll bring her over. So she raised her hand. I'm not showing any kind of lag, so if you guys are experiencing that, let me know. But I don't see, okay, no, hit refresh. Okay, cool. All right, so today we're going to talk about our email auto-response follow-up series, the follow-up sequence. So what do we want to do to start out? Well, very number one is you have to, have a goal, right? So, and what do we mean by saying have a goal? Well, what is it that you want to do with your email list, with your autoresponder series, right? Do you want to, and then this is just a few questions that you want to ask yourself, right? Do you want to sell a product? Do you want to sell like a suite of products? Are you trying to build rapport and trying to establish a connection with the client or the new prospect with your audience, right? Are you trying to hype something up? Is there something going on that you're trying to get some energy built up around and get some momentum behind, specifically in your business? Or are you trying to launch something? Maybe you have a new product, or there's a new product or service and you're trying to launch something, right? Or are you just trying to establish your authority in your niche, in your field? So you want to ask yourself, we brought Tanya over, and then boop, there she went. So you want to ask yourself that question, and those are some quick questions that you can ask yourself in determining, hey, what's my goal? And then number two is we want to have a strategy, right? And I'm taking notes, as you guys can see. All right, let me try to bring you back over, Tanya. But yeah, and the reason that you want to have a strategy is simple. You want to go in because you want to be prepared, and depending on what the outcome you want, right? What the end result is that you want, you might want to do a little bit different approach depending on the outcome. Okay, so in any case, whatever you're trying to do, whether you're trying to, right, do you want to sell a product or launch it, or launch something new, right? We'll talk about that. Are you trying to build momentum for a new project? Maybe you're trying to become authority in a niche, or establish your authority is probably a better way to phrase it. Establish your authority in a niche, right? So we talked about that. So if you're going to have a strategy, and we talked about, hey, different outcomes are going to maybe require a little bit different strategy, right? If you're trying to just simply, are you trying to build rapport with your audience, right? Is going to be a lot different than if you're just simply trying to sell a product to someone, right? How you're going to communicate and what you're going to say to them is going to be effectively different. And so that strategy is going to look a little bit different. So what we're going to talk about today specifically is some key points, okay? No matter what strategy you're going to employ, based on whatever your outcome is, whether it's building rapport with your customer or establishing that you're an authority in a specific niche, no matter what you're going to do, you're going to have a couple elements, right, that are going to be super powerful when you're talking about trying to communicate with, build that rapport, and actually move your audience, right? So let's talk about what these things are. We could say that these are like pressure points, if you will, that you're going to want to use in your email, right? And so everyone calls them different things. They call them hot topics or hot buttons. They call them pressure points. They call them, emotional triggers. There's all these different terminology for what we're talking about, but specifically, we've got a couple different ideas, right? So number one is you have to you have to show authority, right? And well, how do you do that, right? In an email, right? Well, you're gonna have to show some proof, and you're gonna have to show some credibility. And we're gonna show you in examples in just a little bit how to do each one of these things. Okay, so that's number one. And then number two is we're going to build rapport, right? You gotta build rapport, and you've got to do it quickly when you're talking about an email series, okay? We're going to show you how you can do this. And in an example of, like I mentioned, we're going to show examples. One of the great ways to be able to do this and to be able to build rapport, and we're going to show you how to do this, is to simply start with a welcome message, okay? And we'll show you examples of a welcome message, how to build that welcome message. We're going to show all of this. So number three is to communicate. And the reason I say is to communicate is because here's the deal. If you're one of those types of people that sends an email out once a year, or once because there's a launch, or once and you only make a Facebook post when there's something for sale, then you're not being consistent enough to actually communicate. You need to actually communicate, hey, this is what's going on. I'll give you a great example. One of the things that I've been trying to employ, or one of the things I'm now employing in my business is making an email blast, whether there's something going on or whether there's just simply a reminder that, hey, there's a video that's been posted recently. Why? Well, because I'm producing content on a regular basis every day via YouTube, right? And so I'm communicating on a regular basis. So the people that are going to the YouTube presentation that I'm making on a regular basis, on a daily basis, I've built rapport with that audience, right? So it's the same thing. So I'm communicating with that audience. So we're taking that idea of communicating and building that rapport, right? And we're just transferring it over into our email series. And how do we do that? Well, we communicate regularly, okay? So however you want to say that, you want to say be consistent, do daily, do weekly, whatever that number looks like for you. We're simply going to say that it is truly just a regular communication, and to have that frequency that feels comfortable for you, right? You have the ability with an email to send it every single day. It does not mean that you have to, but if you feel compelled to, you absolutely can, okay? Okay, so guide and teach. That's step number 3. I'm just writing this down from my notes, guys. So step number 3 is guide and teach. Why is this so effective? Well, here's the reality. People are literally looking for the guy or the gal that has the experience, that has the knowledge, that can show them how to do something. In today's world, we can literally go right online and we can go and find a YouTube video and we can find the person that has the answer. We can find the guy and the gal that have the training and the answers that we want. And so people are literally, they're asking for this, right? How do we know that? Well, because there's billions of videos going up every single day. So by doing this, by guiding and teaching people and literally stepping into that leadership role, you're literally providing what it is that people are already looking for. Okay, we're going to show you examples of how you can use this in your email marketing as well. So let's go on to step number. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4. I'm sorry, my numbering got off. And so number 5 is be you, okay? And be you, but be the excited you, okay? Nobody wants to do training. Nobody wants to get products and services. Have you ever watched TV and seen anything that was like this? Unless it was for a flu or cold commercial or something. Did you ever see, Mario, I'll bring you over, I see your hand. Did you ever see any commercial of a TV that was like this? Hey, come get our product. It's really good. No, just come get it. No, you don't see that. Why? Why do you think of it's funny, but we say this? What is like one of the first infomercials? If I say infomercial, what do you think? Does anyone think ShamWow? Because that guy's like, wow, right? Do you think Billy Mays? Why? Because he was loud. He wasn't fake. That was him. He was excited. He was an excited guy. He was a powerful guy. He was bringing energy to the table. So be you, but be the excited you. Be the energetic you. Be the guiding, teaching you that's not depressed, that's not somber, right? Be that you. Here, you know what? I'm going to try to put this link in the chat and see if that works. Okay, so she can't come over. I'll try that and see if that works. I don't know, you might. Mario, I tried to get you over. I put the link in the group there. So be you, have some personality. No one wants to see a bump on the log. but also you don't have to go over the top. You don't have to be fake. You can be the genuine you, but have some energy, have some personality, okay? Bring some personality to the table, okay? So we're talking about the steps that we need to have in the actual email process, right? So step number one is we have to have a goal, okay? And we talked about different types of goals at the very beginning of this. Number two was we have to have a strategy. We have to actually plan this out and think about, okay, what based on my goal, based on the end, what I want as the end result, right? That's the goal. What strategy am I going to take? And whatever strategy that is, right? No matter what strategy we take, so we got to determine that no matter what, we know that there's some pressure points, right, that we want to hit, and specifically we talked about 5 of them. So now we want to talk about what's the third step in creating our autoresponder. And you can see it's not just sit down and write some letters, right? There's a little bit more thought, but if we sit down and do a couple minutes of thought like this and write out a few ideas, what you're on the back end, what your framework to go and build something, and you're going to have everything completed, so it's not a big hodgepodge. It's not a jumbled mess when you go to build, and you'll see if you're doing this and building along. Now, I want to make an announcement because I know that for those that are here today, there's a lot of people here that might be enjoying the Friends of Free Daily Coaching this month in our January Blast month, where everyone gets to come and everyone's invited. So the reason that I'm doing this style is because I will definitely make all of the is because we have a lot more people, and so there's some people that don't know me, right? And I wanted to be able to have as much time with you guys, so that's why I invited everyone to come over if you wanted to have live questions. So here we go, Mario's coming over. So I will, you will have the opportunity to get the slides and everything for this webinar and for the notes on this. And I'll put that for those that are members for the free daily coaching, Friends of Free Daily Coaching. We'll put that up in the members area so that you guys, I know some of you are taking notes as I'm talking, but I'll put all, and I am too, because I kind of just have like a series of, I literally got now like a couple different folders that I was trying to do different things on, and because I've lost something from last week. So I apologize, so I'm keeping notes as we go. So for those that are wondering, like, hey, where's the slideshow, man? You should have made bullet points. I'm making those bullet points for you, right? I've got it all mapped out, just so you know, and you guys will see it in the members area. So I'm excited, and let me just do a sidetrack before we go to step 3 in building your autoresponder. I'm excited to let those of you know that have access to back to that members area that shortly here we'll have a new membership area, a new sleeker look, easier way for you guys to log in and get into videos and stuff. And so I'm really excited about that. And also over on YouTube, if you want to just access videos that I have and you're just looking for some of the stuff that's available to the public all the time, if you go over to YouTube, we've cleaned up a lot of the playlists and consolidated, so you'll see that all of the first years of free daily coaching is all put together on a playlist. Last year, 2015, 2016, all the email stuff is together. Tips and tricks and workarounds is all together. So you'll see that we clean that up for you to access some things a little bit easier. So the next thing that you want to do is plan out your follow-ups, right? And I'll show you what I mean by giving you guys some subheadings. Now, these are some different. This is like, now we're going to go into. Last time we talked about when we were saying, hey, we should do some strategizing, and these are some pressure points, and that had 5 points. So I'm going to give you 8 points right now, okay? So get ready for 8 different things here, and this is just, again, This isn't something that's set in stone. It doesn't have to be like this forever. This is if you're just getting started, you want to have something up. I'm going to show you something that we can do, something really simple. So the email number one, you can just write down number one is who are you? Okay? And then you can put welcome/intro, right? So the idea here is, what's the question? What are we doing in this email? Well, we're answering a specific question. What's the question? Who are you, dude? Right? This is the first email that you're sending these people. Who are you? So this should be a welcome or an introduction in email, right? Number two is a big benefit. What's the big benefit for them, right? What's the big benefit for them to be on your list, for them to be getting the information that you're now sharing with them? Okay, so, and you're going to see that there's all kinds of different formats. Different people are going to show you different. This one is just simple, right? Simple, and that's what we said last time. We're going to try to keep it really super simple, right? Is this making sense, everyone? Mario, is this making sense?
Yes.
All right. So what's the big benefit? So you're here, right? What's the big benefit? You're trying to establish a need. Okay? That's it. You're just trying to use your message to try to establish a need on why they should continue to get your messages, right? Provide something. Okay? What do they want to achieve, right? Establish that need. What do they want to achieve? Okay? Number three, is show proof or show a success story, okay? Maybe you want to show a video, okay? Maybe you want to have a written testimonial, okay? But show some proof, show a success story. And we're going to show you how to leverage this so that if you don't have this already, if you don't have a customer testimonial, if you don't already have this for yourself, how you can leverage something that's already been done so that you can still have this element, okay? And so then what's after the success, the show the proof, right? Showing the proof is now maybe another testimonial. From you about blank. Okay, so now you're going to do a specific testimonial about something. Okay, then step number 5. What the experts say. What do the experts say? Okay, that's a question, right? And tell people. Whatever it is that you're promoting, and that's going to be back from step 1 from your goal, right? Whatever you're doing, you're now going to be able to say, hey, well, what do the experts say? Well, then go show them what the experts say. Talk about what the experts talk about. Talk about what the experts do, and then show examples. Go give proof, right? Just point to them and show, okay? And then number 6, another benefit, okay? Give them another benefit, right? It's almost like back to number 2, like, hey, there's a big benefit. Here, you might even be giving them a link to some more training. Maybe you're going to give them a free opportunity to connect with you. Maybe you're going to give them a consultation, right? Absolutely free. Okay. And now again, you can do a success story, testimonial, and add in training. Okay. And those three, you can now just start to mix those three up. And we'll show you how when you use these success stories and when you use these testimonials, how you're going to help build credibility in your emails, how you're going to build authority in your emails by simply showing what you're doing. Now, this is something that I haven't done very well in the past, and I'm going to start to be leveraging more. I can show you an example of one way where I have used this. I've used this leverage in using customer testimonials on a website that I have that has current videos, or it has videos and written testimonials of clients of mine, right? So in that case, I'm actually leveraging the testimonials and the success stories, and I'm doing it in video. But what about if I use that, and this is what this idea is, and so I'm going to be doing some revamping of mine as well. What if, of my autoresponders, what if in those messages you simply use the success story to be able to build your authority? Let me give an example. Since Mario is here, Mario gets to be the benefit of the example here. I could send out an email that said something like to the effect of, you know, I'm trying to think of a good one on how I can do it. You know, I just got off the telephone with a client of mine, and I wanted to share. You know, he told me one of the most he shared with me one of the most amazing texts I've gotten so far this year. He had told me that he's been marketing for the last 2 years, and up to today, the most leads he's ever gotten was 2 leads a day. Well, I want to say congratulations, Mario, because after using the 555 method, he was able to get 7 leads in a day. Congratulations to Mario, right? So in this case, I'm using a success story, and I'm congratulating Mario, right, on his success, and all the while, I'm promoting my 555 training, right? So I'm building trust by showing these people, hey, listen, this guy just did one of my trainings, right? By doing my 555 training, Mario is able to get this result. And I'm not saying like in the email, it's not like click on the training and go there now, right? Like we're not even to that point. We're just showing an example of how you could go in and use a success story to also build trust. So step number 3 is you got to plan out your follow-ups. Now, of course, your follow-ups might only my follow-up series only has 4 follow-up messages in it. So you might be saying, well, Bert, why are you showing us 8 different messages? I'm showing you this is a template that you could use if you decided to. You could cut it off at number 6, right? And number 7 could just be like, hey, start to be just real-time broadcast messages. Heck, you could cut it off after number 1 if you want, and just have one welcome message, and everything after that could be broadcast. I'm just simply giving you a template, an idea, so that you can go and build this. At the end of this month, with the Friends of Free Daily Coaching Mastermind, having gone through each of these webinars, and if you are taking notes and if you go back, all of these are on YouTube. If you go until the end of the month of January, they'll be available absolutely free to everyone. If you go and watch these and you follow the steps that we outline here, we're going to walk you all the way through it. You should have a custom series totally built. There should be no reason that you don't have a custom series built other than you simply didn't do it, right? You just totally didn't do it. So step number 3, we talked about planning out your follow-ups. We gave you 8 different planned emails. We kind of asked a question on each of these and then answered the question, right? That's what the email is all about. So the question on the first one is like, hey, who are you? The answer is it's welcome, right? This is who I am. The next email is kind of like, what's the big benefit for them, right? So establish the need and show them why you're the big benefit, right? Give them something. In step 3, in email 3, you're going to show proof, or some kind of success story. Number 4, again, you're going to follow that up with a testimonial. This one can be from you about a specific story. Maybe you're going to do a testimonial about how you've been doing a specific, hey, you know, I want to tell you guys, you know, about something that I've been doing over the last 6 months. I've been building out some SEO work, and as many of you guys know, I've been working with one of my mentors, and he's been helping me to do so, right? That would be a testimonial that you could tell about something. Hey, as many of you know, I've been building the, you know, as you may or may not know, and maybe these are new people, so, or as you may or may not know, if you haven't been to my website or social media, is recently I've been trying to quit my 9-to-5 job and build my home-based business. One of the platforms that I've found that's been really helpful is My Lead System Pro. Every single Wednesday night, they do an industry-wide webinar, and you can come this Wednesday, boom. Right? So I'm doing a testimonial about something in that. Number 5 is, what do the experts say about, you know, what it is that you're sharing and what you're going to be talking about, and then show them, tell people, tell them what they say. And then another benefit, show them some more. Show them some more training, follow it with a success story and a testimonial if you want to go even longer, and now you've just built out your AutoResponder and you already have 8 messages, right? 8 messages. So we're going to give you a little bit more detail. We're going to give you some more examples, but so we're going to go on to step number 4, because what is step number 4? This is the part that everybody loves. This is do the work. Step number 4, do the work. What does that mean? Now we have to write the emails, right? Because they're not just going to be like, doot, 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 like, so, you know, they're not going to just write themselves. Now, I want to tell you something right away, okay? I want to tell you something right away. Everyone's going to, oh, I just flipped the cap of my pen off. Everyone, this is the part where everyone stumbles, okay? This is the part, this is the bottleneck, okay? Because what happens is I go, Mario, I just gave you a formula, go write 8 messages. And halfway through message number 2, okay, Mario gets a little grumbling in his stomach. And he says, you know what, I wonder what's in the refrigerator. I wonder what's in the fridge. I should probably go check it just to see if there's a snack in there for me. And then off to the fridge we go. And then it's not until 45 minutes later that we come back, okay? Now, I would tell you that normally that's normal, because when you're sitting down to write, that can be pretty normal, okay? It's normal to get writer's block. It's normal to not, you know, always be like super dynamic and creative all the time, right? It's not like you're always on a commercial, right? And that's not what we expect. We want you to remember that we talked about these 5 points, these pressure points, if you will, to show proof and credibility, to build authority, or to show your authority, to build rapport, right? So we want to do that when we're writing these emails. So if now we have a structure and we go, okay, well, what's the first question? Well, who are you? Okay, well, who are you? Write up a quick welcome email. Okay, that's it. Just write up a quick one, and I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna go log in, and I'm gonna show you just for as an example. Okay, this isn't set in stone how exactly yours should be worded exactly like this. I don't even know my own password. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go over and let me change my list. And I'm going to read you an example, it's quick, of a follow-up message. And this is specifically, this one is, this is for my, just like my main newsletter. And this is what it is. Okay, so I got to go into the legacy follow-up series. Okay, let me see what it says. Okay, so this is what mine says. It just says, hey there, I'm going to assume that you're here because you visited one of my websites, or we spoke online, or on the phone. First off, let me tell you how excited I am that you decided to let me share with you. Not too long ago, I was searching for a way to make some money online, or find a way to build my home-based business using the internet in some way. I was struggling to figure out how to promote without bothering all my family and all my friends and family. What happened was something pretty awesome. I found some real solutions that I'll share with you. I'll send you invites to my free daily coaching, other webinars and trainings that I attend for my business, and the tools I use to allow us to live a life of freedom. I'll tell you the story of how I quit my job and really dove headfirst into a home-based business. Let me tell you now that you will not get a bunch of emails. So I should probably clean this up because I can't even barely read it myself. Yeah, you won't get a bunch of automated emails from me. What you will get are letters that I personally am writing to you. Now you may get some wacky subject lines and even a few Goat Village updates. You'll definitely hear more about Goat Village and how our freedom has allowed us to start an urban homestead, but I'll save that for next time. Talk to you soon. Have a successful day. Bert Bledsoe. Then it's like my phone number says, P.S. Do you want to get the #1 secret I've learned? Call into my secret line and listen to the message and find out now. They can call into a phone number and it gives them a secret message. And then it gives them my training, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Facebook, free daily coaching, blah, blah, blah. Right? So then it's just like my little thing. So basically my message just says, hey, listen, if you're here, you're probably getting this because it's a welcoming to them, because we've met somewhere online on a website or we talked, right? And then I simply go in and say, hey, listen, not too long ago, so I'm going to share with you about how I built my home-based business, because not too long ago I was like you, I was struggling to do that. Now I'm building a home-based business. So what I'm not going to do is spam you a bunch of links all the time. What I am going to do is tell you about how we did this. I'm going to tell you in this story over the next couple letters. And then after that, it's going to be me talking to you in real time. Pretty straightforward, right? So before we go on to the next step for writing our emails, before we go on to step number 2, and I'll show you guys some tweaks, because you're going to want to tweak your messages. I know, because I said I'll give you some more examples, so I will on those 5 points from earlier. But before we go on to message 2, does anyone have any questions on the idea for message number 1, what you should say or how you should say it in message number 1, just the welcome message? Okay, I don't see any hands, and I haven't seen any hands yet, so or questions come through. So send it through the Q&A. Is this all? No, I get this is in a series. No, this is in a series. Right. Okay. So if I don't see any questions come through, then I'll assume that everyone is clear, and that everyone has at least to this point written. Don't wroten anything, okay? Because that won't be good for you. I will assume that at this point, everyone has at least to this point written an opening sentence for a welcome email, introducing yourself. Hi, it's Mario here. Hi, welcome to my, welcome to the newsletter. Hey, what's up? Hi everyone, it's Angel coming to you from Manitoba. Hey everybody, it's Leanne coming from you from the Lone Star State. Right? Yeehaw! Right? Maybe it's howdy everybody, it's Debbie D coming from the mesas of Arizona. Right? Who knows? Right? We don't know, because but it's got to be you. It's got to be in your voice. It's got to be your personality. Maybe Whitman's opening one says, let me start out by saying if I spill any barbecue sauce on you, I apologize. Right? Maybe that's how his very first email starts out, and everyone does what Mario does. They start laughing. They're like, what is this all about? And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. Now listen, I'm often off at barbecue championships handing out blue ribbons, but every once in a while I'm going to be shooting you some important marketing updates. So when you see my emails come through, make sure you open them up, because these things are savory than a baby back rib off a smokehouse grill, right? I wasn't thinking barbecue right then, but off a smokehouse pit, right? Something like that. So he might add his personality into it, and his personality might just be simply something fun about him. And so you should, at least to this point, you should have something written that says hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. The elf needs food. All right, let's see who else is here. How do you check your open rate? Okay, that's not for this. Webinar. We can show you that in a. We said we would do another webinar, so we'll add that one into the series when we do the templates and everything. But you can see that open rate is just right in your back office of Aweber. But we'll show that on another quick video, or if we do a screen share again and we're over there. So. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions on email number 1. So let's talk about email number 2. So what's the big benefit, right? Establish the need. So email 2 is right. You welcomed them on the first one. So email number 2, when we talked about establishing the need, we also said maybe we're going to follow that up with giving them some training. So what's the big benefit? Hey, super glad that you decided to be here. I wanted to start off this series of emails with giving you some training, right? Let me give you a benefit right off the bat. You know, over the last 6 months, I've learned X, Y, and Z, and let me share that with you. Here's 6 points that I learned, right? Here's 5 points that I learned. Here's a resource that I use on a daily basis. Have you ever tapped into a daily call to be able to center yourself in your business? Well, if not, here's a resource that I use, right? Now, I'm not just going to give you these phone numbers and webinars to log into. I'm going to actually give you links to training that I'm doing and creating for you in addition to all of that. So take a look at this quick video that I made. Shoot them a video to a link to your YouTube channel, or hey, shoot them a post. A link to your post on your blog, right? Hey, shoot them over to your website or your product site, okay? Show them the need and then give them a resource. Give them some training. Okay, so questions on number 2. Number 2. We're going to show you that in just a little bit there on the test and tweak, okay? So that's coming up. I know you're waiting. We'll do it today. It's going to come up on number 5, okay? Number 5. Show me the numbers! That's going to be number 5, but we haven't got to number 5 because we're not done writing our emails, right? Number 5, we're going to show me the emails. We'll show you the follow-up and all of that. All right. All right. Who else do we got? Okay. We got nothing. We got nothing. We got nothing for email 2. All right. This is going good. So email 2. Now we're off to email 3. Email 3 is a success story. Okay. This is where you could put in even a video if you want. This is the cool part. A success story. If you have a success story, maybe it's that you never got any leads and you finally started generating leads. Maybe it's that you never had an email series and you went to a training on Wednesday with a guy that showed you how to write an email series, and now you got 3 emails in your follow-up email series, and you want to share with them the formula that you just learned. Maybe it's something that simple, right? But it's a success story. You could insert a video if you want. You could also use a success story of someone else. Hey, you know what? Like the example I gave earlier. You know what? I want to share a story today with you about a guy that I work with, a client of mine that just recently decided to do some one-on-one coaching with me. He sent me a message, and this is a real message. He sent me a message the other day that said, let me read it. Where is it at? Okay, right here. Um, 6 months in, and I haven't ever broken 3 leads in one day. I just broke 7 leads in about 1 minute. Right? And then he did the emoticon with the happy face with the X's in his eyes, and he's all smiley face, X's in his eyes, like doing kisses and everything. And then it said 555, smiley face, with his teeth showing. right? Emoticon. So you could see. So it's a real message. So now I can tell that success story and say, hey, let me tell you about this kid that lives out here in Kentucky that never generated more than 3 leads in a day, and he just did more than 7 leads in a minute just by learning this 5-5-5 method. How amazing is that, right? That's a success story. So we share that. It doesn't have to be your success. It can be someone else's success. Now, if it happens to be someone that's using something, a method that you're using or a method that you're teaching or something that you're sharing, that's even better yet. Even better yet, right? So the next one is a testimonial. Now we talked about this first one is a testimonial from you about a specific thing. So here's where you want to start sharing, and this is a testimonial about whatever you're trying to share about, depending on based on your goal. If your goal is to build rapport, then maybe you want to share a little bit more testimonial more about your business journey and some of the challenges that you had and some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome. If you're trying to, just simply sell a product, maybe you want to tell a testimonial about how you used the product and what the results were, right? So you see how the testimonial from you is it's gonna change a little bit based on what your outcome is. So that's it for step number 4. Step number 5, what do the experts say? Hey, what do experts say about this product? Let's say if you're using the product. Well, this is what they say, and then give them stats, give them testimonials, link them to websites, show them statistics, right? If you're trying to establish authority, maybe in a specific niche, then you can say, well, hey, what do the authorities in our niche say about what I'm going to be teaching and what I'm training about? And then you can go and show what they're saying and what they teach about and say, hey, they're showing this same type of thing, right? So number 5 was what would the experts say. Number 6 is another benefit, right? So here's another benefit. Hey, you know what? We've told you a lot. We've shown some. We told you about Billy the other day. I told you about my personal story and what this did. We even showed you yesterday about what the experts in the niche say. You know what? I want to give you some more training. I want to give you some more value. Okay? Another benefit to being here connected with me is this gift I give to you. Okay? Hey, I wanted to slather on a little bit more. Can I put another rib on your plate? That would be a great headline if Whitman decided to use the barbecue theme, right? That would be a great subject line for a follow-up email. Hey, can I put another rib on your plate? Or can I get you another serving of brisket, right? Can I get you a pulled pork sandwich, right? Do you need coleslaw? Yes, I do. Okay. Damn it. Every time I talk with Whitman, I get hungry. Is that weird or what? God, can't help it. Okay. Goodness gracious. All right. And then 7 and 8 is just a repeat, right? A repeat of the prior is now putting in more success stories and more testimonials. Okay. Did we keep it simple enough that everyone could sit down and even if it was only 4 or 5 sentences, could you put enough together to write up an auto-response series this evening? It doesn't have to be, Jack London's Call of the Wild. It doesn't have to be the complete works of Shakespeare, right? It doesn't have to be magnetic sponsoring. I'll use someone in our niche in the home baked business, right? That sold a big book, right? It doesn't have to be the MLM Blueprint by Cody Bateman. It doesn't have to be that, right? It could just be a quick couple sentences, all of which follow a quick question. Who are you? What's the big benefit? Show me some proof. How about a testimonial from you? What do the experts say? Show me another benefit. Follow it up with a success story and a testimonial, and we got 8 custom-made messages, right? We answer those are all goals. Now what do? Now I'm going to go back through those same 8. We're going to answer those questions with, who are we? Well, we're going to welcome them, and we're going to give them an introduction and tell them a little bit about ourselves. We're going to establish why we have a big benefit. We're going to give them some value. We're going to establish a need and then give them value. We're going to show a success story by showing proof, right? That's how we're going to show proof, whether it's our proof or someone else's success story. Then we're going to give a testimonial. Then we're going to show, then we're going to give a testimonial. That just answers the question. It's not even a question on that one. It's just direct. right? What do the experts say? That's the question. Well, we're going to show them. We're going to tell them by giving them resources, okay? What's another benefit? Again, we're going to give them more training. We're going to give them more success stories, so we're going to show more proof and more testimonials, okay? Then we're just going to talk to them regular, and we're going to do some of the things that we talked about at the beginning of the webinar today. We're going to have authority, and we're going to show authority by showing proof, right? Because no one wants to work with a new guy, okay? So if you're brand new, you don't have to go into it and go, hey, I'm brand new. I'm not saying don't be forthcoming. Absolutely, if someone asks you how long you've been in working, be forthcoming. But you can position yourself as an authority and with more authority by who you're aligned with and what you're doing and the actions that you're taking, right? The actions you're taking speak louder than the words that you're saying. So you're going to show that proof. You're going to show that credibility, and we're going to show examples. So what are examples of showing proof and credibility? Well, one of the ways that we did it was by showing earlier an example of congratulating and showing someone else's success, okay? So you can show someone else's success. Heck, guys, you could say, you know, I don't know if I'm just going to give you guys all an example because a lot of you here use the My Lead System Pro platform. You could be telling a My Lead System Pro story and go, heck, I don't know where else you come from total obscurity out of nowhere and all of a sudden have more exposure than you can shake a stick at, but that's what my buddy Bert did. Let me show you. He uses this exact same platform to this day. Let me show you. Come by the webinar tonight, yada, 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 right? So you could show someone, I'm showing you guys, I was giving an example of how you guys could even use my story for your benefit to show your authority. Hey, I'm using this same platform that this guy is using, and now I'm showing it to you. You become the authority. The authority that you just used, you used the authority of me for your advantage, okay? You're going to build rapport, okay? You want them to know, like, and trust you, right? So how do you do that? Well, give examples and tell stories that make you trustworthy. You know, last week a client of mine actually contacted me and asked me about doing some more work, and I had the option of pointing him in one of two directions. I could point him over here where I might make a little bit more money, but it wouldn't really serve him as well, or I could point him over here where it would be better suited for him. You know, the reason I'm telling you this is because I had spoken to him previously, and every single person he had dealt with always sold him the high ticket thing, time and time and time and time again. So you know what? I wanted to really do something different for him and show him that, hey, this thing that wasn't as expensive was probably going to be the better value for him, right? And guess what? Because he saved all that money, he was able to take his wife out to dinner last week, and I saw that he was able to go on vacation with his kids out to Vegas. How amazing is that? Right? So show stories of why you're trustworthy, right? Show them why they should know, like, and trust you, right? Tell likable stories, right? You got to communicate regularly. Why does the free daily coaching call work? Because we do it every single day, because we built that rapport, we built the trust with the audience because we're there every single morning. This morning I ran late by like 6 minutes, and I saw the question, and I was, Chris Schaus posted me, and she said, Bert Bledsoe, question mark, and tagged me, and it literally saw it, and it was like my heart dropped. I was like, oh, I gotta hang up. I was like, I gotta go. Boom, I just hung up on the person I was talking to. I was like, I gotta go now. 6 minutes, like they're freaking out. Why? Because we do it every single day. So when we say we're gonna be there, we're gonna be there. People trust that we're gonna be there. They also trust that the things and the products, the services, the people that we bring around there and that we promote on that call are going to be valuable to them. Otherwise, we wouldn't promote them, right? There's that implied trust. That's what happens when you start to communicate with people and do things on a regular basis. So, guide and teach, right? This idea of guiding and teaching, and a good example is this, is just simply guiding, is pointing to people towards the resources that have been helping you. And then teaching, the teaching aspect comes in with literally sharing, how did you apply it? What did you do? Right? So here's the deal. I told everyone in the beginning, this is what I did. I used MLS pre-framed emails from the beginning. Then I cut them down to the like 4 or 5 best. Then I used those for a while. Then I went in and started editing those 4 until I made them my own. Right? Now I'm learning even more and going even deeper. So I'm deciding, hey, I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm going to sequence things a little bit better. I'm going to be a little bit better of a storyteller, a little bit more congruent, pressing on other pressure points to get people to call to action, right? To be able to get the response that I'm looking for. So I'm refining it. And as I'm refining it, what am I doing? I'm guiding and teaching, right? So I'm doing exactly what I'm teaching. So we talked about giving some examples. We gave those examples. So number 5, step number 5 in this whole thing, because step number 4 is write out the email, so go do the work. Step number 5 in this example, and I'm going to give you some more templates. I said that I would, so in the members area, in the free daily coaching, Friends of Free Daily Coaching members area, with the with the outline of this, I'll give you some templates of these emails. So we have that project working, so I will give you some templates. Here's the deal, they're templates. Don't use them exactly word for word. They're not swipe and go. This is an idea, go write this in your own words, right? You can use the same format and everything, just write it in your own words. Don't use it verbatim. Because we don't want because we want it to be you. We don't want Mario's email to say, do you want another rib on your plate? Because that'll be weird. They'll be like, what? You know what I mean? What is this guy talking about ribs all of a sudden? Right? Why is he doing that, right? Because that would be something that Whitman would use. So change up your verbiage. So number 5 is show me the numbers. This is where you gotta, after these are all written, and now your emails are going out. We want to see where are the numbers. Okay, so this is where number 5 is where you go to look at your stats, right? So you go into Aweber and you simply log into your back office of Aweber. Let me see if I'm logged in over here. I am. Okay, and when you log into the home page, it'll simply, if you scroll down, your recent broadcast messages, if you're broadcasting, the stats will be right there. If they're not, then you're going to go to a follow-up series, and I'll go to a list here, and I'll show you guys. Oops, let me go do a screen share. Okay, entire screen share. Okay, so we're going to go to this InstaLead Magic list, and we'll go to the follow-up series. So when you pick your list here, and if you have a follow-up series, we're going into the legacy follow-up series now, because now they're called campaigns, but before they were called follow-up series. So we go in there, and then you can see I have a preloaded list. This one was a done-for-me campaign, so I can see the opt-in rates right here: 27%, 11%, 12, 10, 14, 13, 26, right, 12, right? So, okay, so that's how we're going to come in here. We're going to test these, right, by sending them, and then we can come in and see, okay, look, that we can get rid of, like this one, 27%, awesome, 26%, awesome, 12, 13, 14, 10, and 11, not so awesome. What could I do? Maybe could I go in here and fix the title or fix something in the message to get a better open response rate, right? And that would be just tweaking the message. So that would be the first thing, is go in here and edit the message. So the first thing I might do is go in here and I would take out the pre-did first name and go boom. Because I don't personally like that. I don't do that usually. And then I'll do this, delete it up here, right? Boom. Okay, and then I'll just go like that, and I'll save it and exit. So I'll just change that one thing and see if that happens. Bam. Okay. Done. Done. Okay. So easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Okay. So step number 5 is we got to tweak and and adjust anything. So you got to show me the numbers. You got to see what the numbers are and then see what's working. And that's it. That's how you're going to know. So if I'm getting a bad open rate, then I go, okay, well, what was not good about that email, right? What was not good? Was it the time of the day? Was it the subject line, right? You start to learn this over time. The only way you do it is if you do it on the regular. You start communicating on the regular. How do I know what to say on these webinars all the time? Because I've done a webinar every single day for, I don't know, 3 years now. Of course I can get on the webinar and just talk to you guys for an hour. I've done it every single day, Monday through Friday for years. So of course I got good at it, right? If you started writing an email one a day every single day for a few years, you think in a couple years you'd be pretty good at that? Better believe it, right? Right? Better believe it. I was gonna try to. What was 6? Number 6 was another benefit, so more training. I think you're talking about number 6 and number 3. Someone that just came on is like, number 6 and number 3. What? Exactly, Shaus. Exactly. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns. It looks like everyone almost stayed to the end, so we got Whitman and Mario over live. They're just hanging out for the exposure, which I like. I like how they utilize that. That's a good way to get on some YouTube videos, dudes. You know what I'm saying? I always did. Whenever someone was like, hey, you want to jump over? I was like, yeah, hello. Why wouldn't I want to? So congrats on that. Did either of you gentlemen have a question on anything that we went over today in creating an email auto-response follow-up sequence?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Whitman, are you going or no? All right. One or two things that I wanted was one on the idea of the timeline. In other words, do you do this every day? Do you do this like maybe one day and then Monday? Let's say, for example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Good question. So I personally, how I have mine set up, I have and I have only 4 in my series now. I have the first one sent out immediately, and then literally I have the next one sent daily on those automatic ones, and then I broadcast now approximately, like I'm trying, my new goal is to do at the minimum every 3 days.
Okay.
Right? So when in broadcasting. Now, sometimes when I'm really busy and there's a lot of stuff going on, I might broadcast more often. Right? When I'm on vacation or I'm out of town, I might not broadcast as often.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Right.
So it'd just be like regular, like in free daily coaching. I'm not as focused when I'm like out of town. I'm like, oh, hey, we're at free daily coaching. I'm at an event. Like, I'm busy. Right? So it's like, hey, look at all the people walking by. That's free daily coaching today. Go to events. Right? Why? Well, because I'm not as focused on the communication then, because I'm out of town. Same with the emails, right? And everyone knows that. Why? Why do they know that? Because they've come to expect it at free daily coaching, the regular people that attend on a regular basis, right? Because they've attended long enough, right? We've communicated long enough that they know, oh, Bert's going to an event. There might be some lag time here on free daily coaching. Shaus, you might have to check out if Shaus is picking up some slack over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might be on Shaus's channel.
Well, because I mean, it's, because I'm trying to figure out, how the philosophy is. You touch somebody at least 7 times, or until life in internet marketing, you do it until they just opt out of your list. But my attitude was for 7 touches. I know in the mortgage industry, my numbers were different. You know what I mean?
You just have to go for it. That's one of the that's like where you're going to have to go back to step 5 and tweak and test it. And see what your open rates are and see how whatever you feel comfortable doing, go with that and then see how that works.
Right.
And we talked about this, I think, on the last webinar on this. My wife does not appreciate people that email once a day.
Right.
So she'll like opt out of their list. But if you talk to people that are marketers that are selling products, they say that if you market the more times that you email a day, the more products you'll sell. So it goes exactly against what she just said as the customer. So it depends on what your target market is, and is the person that's opting out of your list, does that even matter? right? Like, who cares then? They're not there. Then they weren't supposed to be there. They obviously didn't want the offer. So isn't that a good thing that they got off of your list because they segmented for you? They were like, oh, I'm not interested in this. Oh, okay, cool, because I just wanted to send this to people that were interested in this. Amazing thing is I just wanted people to read this that were actually interested. So good, that worked out perfect for both of us, right? So figure out what's comfortable for you and then tweak and test, right? The numbers. Let the numbers tell you, dude. The numbers will tell you, right? Numbers don't lie.
Right.
All right.
Thanks.
You bet. Mr. Whitman.
Yes, how you doing?
Good, sir.
Great. The 7 emails, that first week once you get the customer on your list is great, and then after that, I would say a minimum of once a week, unless you have some extra little stuff you want to add, like a webinar coming up, like the Wednesday webinar.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that would be minimum, right? That you would want to do. If you're not connecting with them at least once a week, and in some instances maybe a lot more, if you're not, then you're just going to lose their focus. You're going to lose their attention, and the whole idea of the email. Okay, so here's the deal. It's called an autoresponder. So it could happen for you automatically. So you could do this, load these messages up, and have them go out automatically. That's the whole idea. Now, you could also use it to communicate in real time, right? Like, that's a real thing too. So you get to choose how you use it, but let's not confuse the fact that the great part about this is that we can set this up so that they can go out automatically. And the other thing is this. Let's say for example you wanted to write, like, let's say Whitman knows that he's going to the contest in May, right? He knows that in the Big Smoke on the River contest is May. Okay, so he knows that from what's the date? From May what to what? Whitman?
It's the 3rd week in May.
Okay, so the 3rd week in May, Whitman knows he's gonna be at the Big Smoke on the River contest. So at the last week in April, he could write, let's say, 2 messages that were like, "Oh man, my bags are packed, everything's ready, blah 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 blah. I'm about to go to the Big Smoke cook-off. This is gonna be amazing." Right, and he's telling the story, and the mouth watering, and the juicy ribs, and I can't wait, and the coleslaw, and the brisket, and oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing, and a big old root beer sundae. Woo! Yeah, right? But hey, I'm going to tell you guys something. Before I go, I wanted to share this one training with you, right? So check out this training, and I'll check in with you when I get to the cook-off, right? And then maybe the next message is, and he's already written it, right? That message, he's written it in the end of April. He goes and writes it and loads it up in the back, and he sets it in his autoresponder to go out on the day that he's leaving for the contest, because he's probably not going to think about that morning wanting to do that work, right? So it's already written for him. Then when he gets there, he's going to be getting there, checking into his room, finding out where he's at, finding his badge, going and getting, right, doing all this stuff, probably getting a little barbecue. Like, he's going to be busy, so he's not going to want to write the letter. So the autoresponder could be used for that purpose. Hey, because he's already been to this. He's been to these before. He knows in this case. So he could write, hey, just got here, going to get my bags unpacked, going to get checked in and do some stuff, but I guarantee you by tomorrow or the day after, you'll have an email coming over to you with pictures of mouth-watering barbecue, right? So you see, so he still used the first 2 as automatic, but it wasn't part of a series or anything. He just freehand wrote the messages, loaded them up so they could be sent at a future date when he knew he was going to be done. So I could do the same thing. I know that I'm going to be traveling starting literally like sometime around this time next week, right? I'm going to be traveling. And I know I'm going to be gone from that day all the way until like the 1st of February. I'm going to be home. So there's going to be some stuff that I'm going to have to do before next Wednesday. Some emails to write and set up to go out on certain days. Some videos to be to be done that will be loaded so that they'll be automatically played, because I'll either be driving or sleeping or traveling or doing something where I won't be able to be there. So if I do it now and set it up, it will automatically happen for me. So that's the leverage of using these automated tools. It doesn't mean that you have to use it and upload 27 different messages, right? And so like Whitman said, at least if you're on the very minimum communicating once a week, and then, you know, in addition to that, adding in some invites. And for some of you, in some of your niches and some of your lists, it might be necessary or more advantageous to email more often. So take that into consideration. So let me go over and see. Okay, that was it. That was all of the questions. Wow. All right, any other questions before I know we went a little over tonight, but there was quite a few people here this evening. Well, so want to welcome those of you. Mario, listen, you're on a one. Jets fans are limited to one question per webinar, unless you make the playoffs and you get two. No, I'm just kidding, Mario. I'm teasing you, Mario. I'm teasing you. What's your question, buddy?
Well, the question was, instead of, I was worried about if you wait a whole week. For example, on certain things like our MLSP, if we're into that, I would want to make sure we remind them about Tuesday, remind them on Wednesday. So it's not
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Whitman was just saying, as an example, you would at minimum want to be emailing once a week, and then he was saying, and then in addition, like what I was getting from Whitman was, hey, minimum of once a week, but then in addition, you could be saying things like adding in the Wednesday webinar, the Tuesday hangout. Maybe you're throwing in like, hey, they do this great new member orientation for a platform I do, and you're sending people just to come and check out the new member orientation to see how easy it is, right? So totally you could add in any of those. And this is the deal. You have to figure out how often that you can communicate with your audience. That's going to be, that's why is show me the numbers, right? Are you communicating so often that people are like, you're getting an exorbitant amount, meaning that you're getting a lot of unsubscribes? Well, then maybe you need to tone it down. Are you not communicating enough and your open rates are just so low that people aren't open? You know what I mean? You need to communicate more and make it more engaging, right? Put stuff in there that's worth it for them. So like this, imagine this. If I put in my email today, I sent an email before this happened and said, hey guys, we're announcing Goat Cam. If you didn't see, the other day we did our first Facebook Live. The goats wanted in on this action, so we got them in. We're looking at different camera systems. We're going to have live goat cams. I don't know how all the details, but I know it's coming. Like, I'm pretty excited. We'll keep you filled in. And, oh yeah, and by the way, we're doing the free daily coaching, and if you want to come, anyone's welcome this week, and we're going to be live in just a few minutes, so come on by if you want to, right?
Right.
Okay. Had I not sent that email, how many people wouldn't be here tonight because they didn't register? I don't know, but a few. I know this. I know quite a few people have registered for that because we've sent the email over and over.
Well, I can say that I did it.
Over again. And engage.
Did we lose Bert?
I think so. I think one of the goats ate his mic. I'm trying to see on YouTube if he's on.
I'm not getting anything from him on the YouTube.
I
on my
got an
screen.
error occurred.
Yeah.
So I think he hung up, or not hung up, but got disconnected.
Yeah. I'm not getting anything from him on the There we go. YouTube.
I got an error occurred. So I think he hung up.
Let's let him dial back in or hook
Okay.
back up. Is this what you're seeing?
Yep. That's mine
like
spinning. I refreshed it just now, just to make sure.
Okay. Well, okay. Who knows some good jokes?
There you go. Well, I got you now. I mean, I don't know why. Wait, let's see. You refreshed, and I see you showing me your cell phone. All right. No, I see just spinning and spinning and spinning.
Yep.